Aloha friends, happy Aloha Monday. I'm back here with another episode of Healing with Pumehana, where we have raw and real conversations about what it looks like to heal. Healing from any type of woundings, past trauma. As far as past trauma, just a disclosure, I am not a therapist. I am not a licensed therapist or psychologist. I cannot help you process that. I can help you heal from it and move forward. But we are doing, here in these episodes, I like to have raw and authentic conversations to share with you what it looks like to heal from something in real time. Now, if any of you follow me on my real estate page, you will know that last week I had to say goodbye to our family dog. And it's still pretty fresh and it's still a little tender, so I'm going to do my best to hold it together. But I do want to share with you what I've been doing to heal and how I've been sitting with myself and helping my family, especially my little ones, to go through this hurt, because this is a traumatic experience, specifically for my 9-year-old. This is an extremely traumatic experience that she will carry with her for the rest of her life. And it's really important to be able to process this and experience this in the most healthy of ways. So I've been doing this for myself, and it's important for me to share this with you. I think that these tools, now I'm not saying that by any means am I doing this perfectly, or by any means is the exercises that I've been using, the tools that I've been using, make it hurt any less. It is still very painful, and she is still very much gone, and there is still very much a gaping hole within my body, within my soul and my heart. So it is the activities and the active movement and the sitting that I do just want to share with you. So a little bit of backstory. What is today? Monday the 29th. Not this past Saturday, but the Saturday before, we had found out that Maggie is my dog. Maggie did have cancer and evidence of cancer, and they weren't sure specifically what type of cancer or what its origin was. And we were waiting for some test results. And last week, Monday, exactly a week ago today, we found out that the results showed that it was terminal, that the doctors didn't actually know where the cancer originated or where it came from. It originated in her lungs and it spread to her leg, and her leg was just swollen for, maybe less than a month, maybe about 3 weeks or so. And we could just tell that she was just in pain. So we had all these tests done, and it turns out that it was terminal cancer. And what was important for us was also knowing that we did everything that we could, and we had everything that we could, and all of the information. We made an informative decision to say goodbye. And of course, with pets, when you get this news, there is always that thought of, do we put her down? Like, what's the action plan? And, communication with my husband was probably one of the most key things that I could have done, was to really have those difficult conversations and be like, hey, like, push comes to shove, what do you want to do? And so we did that. We had that hard conversation. We sat in the uncomfortableness of, if it is bad, what would it look like for us to put her down? What would it look like for us to not? What would her remaining days look like? What would the rest of her life look like? So we had a proverbial fork in the road, and we were able to clearly communicate, if this, then that. If this, then that. So what's really, really important, in any type of relationship is being able to have that clear communication, being of sound mind and logic, and also of open heart to have the difficult conversation. But it came to the choice of, hey, cancer is terminal, and because we don't know the origin, we don't know specifically what type of cancer it was, there really was no curative plan. It was, okay, we can just give her pain medication to help keep her comfortable. And up until that conversation that we had with the doctor, we knew that she was not comfortable. She was not comfortable. She was breathing really hard and just having such a hard time standing up and sitting down and even using the toilet. So it was really difficult. Once we made that decision on the Monday to say goodbye, I made a very, very conscious decision on how I was going to spend the last few days. And what was really important to me was, number one, staying present. Staying as present as I possibly could, because I could feel myself dipping in and out of fast forwarding and putting my attention and energy on the sadness that I would feel when she was gone. And she was still sitting right next to me, laying down right next to me, breathing right next to me. And it was an exercise in really staying present, in really coming back to right here, right now. And the mantra that I used was, she's still here. She's still right here. And that really helped me to pull myself back. So that was really, really powerful, and being super intentional and super grounded in making the most of the time that I had in that moment. So that all last week, I cleared my schedule, except for maybe one or two very, very important things that I knew that I had the mental capacity and energy for. Everything else, I cleared my schedule. And it was so powerful and so empowering. I was so grateful that I have the type of business and that I have the type of lifestyle in which I could say, hey guys, like, something came up, I'm out. Like, Pume is going dark for a little bit for this important thing. So I was home pretty much all day with her, and I would just look up and lie with her, pet her, and just really get grounded in the time that I had with her. So staying present in the right here, right now was so powerful and so important. So that now that she is gone, I can go back and I can remember. When I remember those things, when I remember that time, there is no regret. There is no guilt. There's only peace with how I spent my time. And I think that's so important, that a lot of us don't have that luxury, and we also don't create that luxury for ourselves, or we don't create that mindset shift of, taking our power back, of feeling empowered for truly our time and attention, and saying, I am choosing to do this. I am choosing to spend my time like this. Hi, Carrie. Thank you so much. Thank you. So really being grounded in the present. The second thing that was really, really helpful was therapy. The week prior to us finding out that her cancer was terminal, what my entire therapy session was was processing the relationship that I had with Maggie, and really going through this grief before it even happened. I have such an amazing therapist who I've been seeing her for for almost a year, and it has been groundbreaking, because every other therapist that I have had has followed me down my mental and verbal rabbit holes, and tried to approach, my challenges in my being from a logical sense, from a logical place. And this therapist has forced me, in the best sense of the word, has forced me to sit with my feelings, no matter what it was. To just, hold on, bring it back. Whatever I was feeling. She said, just sit with that. And she would say, where do you feel it in your body? She would help me ground the emotion within my body. Hey, where are you feeling that? I'm feeling it in my chest. I'm feeling it in my shoulders. I'm feeling it in my gut. And she just sat with me and acknowledged what I was feeling. And she also helped me to reframe it. It really helped me to understand, no, I have never had an experience. I've never had a relationship like this. Like her. Give me a second. This is unconditional love. If you are fortunate enough to have a dog, specifically. I can't speak to people who have cats. I've never had a cat. But this is the first dog that I've had as a conscious human being. I had one as a baby. I don't remember her though. But this is true unconditional love. No matter who I was, no matter what I said, no matter what I did, she adored me. There were a couple of times, there's one story in particular, where I had fallen asleep on Lily's on the top bunk with Lily. And Kyle had said, she was looking for you last night. I was like, what do you mean? He said she was going from the office to our bedroom into the girls' room, just kind of sniffing the air. And I could hear her a little bit. I thought that she was just, a little anxious, and sometimes she would pace. And then she even climbed into the bottom bunk with my younger one, and she stayed there for a little while, but Kyle was like, she was looking for you. And there had been times when, I'd fall asleep on the couch with the girls, or, we'd spend the night downstairs, and I would wake up and she was with us. I always kind of thought that she was Kyle's dog. I don't know why. I think it was because I've never had a dog before, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. But she gave me unconditional love. And within my therapy sessions, I was able to really be grounded and grateful for that relationship. So therapy also really, really helped me. And even the day before we put her to sleep, the day that we put her to sleep, I had one last therapy session. It was only 30 minutes. But again, it was just that support that I needed to know that I was doing the right thing, to know that not that I was doing the right thing, but to know that everything that I was feeling was valid and I was supported. So in healing, in processing trauma and grief, therapy is huge. I highly suggest it. The next thing that really, really helped me, and was actually something that I processed within that therapy session, was grounding myself in my beliefs. Because as I processed, as I talked it out, I was reminded of what I actually believe about our spirit, about this experience in this reality. And I said, I truly believe that this is just the meat suit. I truly believe that this flesh is just a casing for our spirit, for our soul. And if I truly believe that for all creatures, then I have to believe that for Maggie. And I have to believe that the casing that she was in, this doggy suit, was housing such a beautiful soul and such a beautiful spirit and light. And if it's her time to go, then it's her time to go. To whatever that might look like. To doggy heaven, or, and I do believe in reincarnation. So maybe her spirit was being called to another realm or another reality, and her light is meant to shine there. So who am I to say, no, I need you to stay here with me? Who am I to hinder such a beautiful spirit from moving on? So having that belief and grounding myself, oh yes, this is what I believe. This is what I believe. It helped me to heal. It helped me to grieve, and it helped me to process. So that's why it's so, so important for us to really understand, what is it that we believe? What do you believe about this experience? What do you believe about the higher power, about a higher being, about a higher consciousness? And how can those beliefs trickle down and be applied to this challenge that you're facing? Because it really helped me. It was a really big aha moment for me when I was able to voice that. So first things first, again, as I'm going through the process and the tools, and I'm sharing the tools of which I use to help process and grieve, saying goodbye to my fur baby. First, it was staying grounded in the present, of staying right here, right now, and telling myself, she's not gone yet. She's not gone yet. And allowing myself to really feel into those final days with her. Second was therapy. Having that support, having that professional support, to really have someone validate and reflect what I was feeling. Third was grounding myself in my beliefs. What is it that I believe? What are my core beliefs? And how can I apply them to the situation? Fourth is I used it during and after. Fourth is giving voice to exactly what it is that I'm feeling, and acknowledging it. It was, while she was still here, it was, I'm scared. I love her so much. I love you so much. It was expressing gratitude to her while she was still here. It was, thank you. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for loving my family. Deep breaths. That's another one, actually, that's not on my list. But so many deep breaths of just into the diaphragm and holding it and then releasing it, because at that moment, all I wanted was relief, and all I not wanted was peace. And there's so many biological markers and things that I could tell you about the brain and oxygen and things like that, but really it is just grounding yourself in the breath, in the present, and giving voice to what it was that I was feeling, and not holding it in, not bottling it up. And some people might see this as, like, might disagree with this, but there would be times where just out of nowhere, I would shed a tear, I'd just start crying. And my girls were there. My girls would see me. And it was actually really, really important to me to have them see mommy's openness in her feelings, mommy's openness in her pain, right? In her sorrow and grief. Because in this household, we are not afraid of our emotions. And we are not afraid to feel them. I need to normalize feeling their feelings so that they can move through them. And the thing is, kids are so intuitive. Kids are so intuitive, and they can feel it before they even see it, right? So I also want to non-verbally validate their feelings and their senses and their intuition. There would be times, and those times, even if I didn't actually shed the tear, they could feel it. And they'd come up to me, Mommy, do you need a hug? And I'd be like, yes, thank you. Yes, thank you. So giving voice, talking to my husband, and even now, after the fact, giving voice. God, this is so hard. Literally saying that last night. Because I turned the corner and she's not there. And it really was just giving voice to it. And I'm really sorry if you guys are uncomfortable. You guys are uncomfortable with emotions. Then, but if you are, I honor you for honoring me. I honor you for honoring me. But giving voice. Saying, God, I miss you so much. Saying, wow, this is really hard. And being able to reflect that and have my husband reflect that back to me. And just being open. Oh, God, openness, you guys. The openness during these challenging times. It has been so healing and so necessary. We actually pulled Lily out of school. We let her stay home for the day. Well, beforehand, we even asked her, hey, do you want to be there when we say goodbye? She said yes. And we had to explain to her, like, this is what's going to happen. This is what the doctor is going to do. Are you sure you want to be there? She said yes. So we let her stay home from school, and we did it in the morning so that we had the rest of the day, right? Because holding space for your grief and really, like I said, clearing your schedule. I cleared my schedule because I knew this was so important. And she had the rest of the day. We had the rest of the day to just cry and be sad. And we watched a movie. We watched Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds to distract, because there are times to distract and there are times to sit in it. And to just give voice, hold space. Lastly, one of the biggest tools that I didn't realize was out there. I mean, like, cognitively, I knew this, but I really didn't realize this, was how important community and connection is. Before it happened, before we put her to sleep and said goodbye, there are a couple of other people who were, a couple of other friends who were, they themselves were very open and vocal about when they lost their fur babies. And I knew, and I had this beautiful relationship with them. They're friends. And I knew that I could talk to them. I knew that I could share my heart with them and tell them what was going on. I knew that they got me because they understood. They were in the trenches. They were in the trenches. And they could give me the advice that I needed. And they could empathize. So holding on to those connections allowed this time to be not so lonely. They checked on us a lot. They checked on us a lot. And it was so beautiful to feel loved. And to know that even in this dark time, you are not alone. You're not alone. You're not alone. So I guess that could absolutely just be summed up in openness. It's just when you are experiencing a challenging time, there's so much in you that's going to want to contract, and that's just going to want to, maybe it's shame, maybe it's guilt, maybe it's, and sidestep. There's absolutely a place for solitude, but not the entirety of it. So when you are going through a challenging time, find those people and know that you have those connections. Start cultivating, creating those safe connections with people so that you can open up and say, hey, I'm having a really hard time. And you could even go so far as to say, know what you need. Like, hey, I don't need advice right now. I just need you to listen. I just need somebody to sit with me. Openness and community and connection. It's so powerful when you are healing. It's so powerful in the healing process. It's so powerful when you are looking in your wounds, when you're cleaning your wounds. So, just to go over it again, the most powerful tools that I've been using and that I have in my toolbox, and I've been actively using these past couple of weeks. Number one, staying present in the right here, right now. Number two was therapy, having that professional support to help you process all of this. 3 is being grounded in your beliefs, going back to your core beliefs and your core values and saying, what is it that I believe about myself and about the world that I can apply to this to help move me forward. Number 4 is, what did I say? Oh my goodness. Number 4 was giving voice and acknowledging the feelings, acknowledging the thoughts. Hashtag feel it to heal it, right? Because that's all it really wants, is to be acknowledged and to hear the voice. Give voice to everything that you're hearing, that you're feeling, and then move through. And lastly, it was community and connection. And I want to add on openness. Being open and sharing your experience with others. So this is how I've been healing from truly a devastating blow to our family. But it's necessary. This is life, right? Seasons. People come and go, spirits and souls, experiences come and go, and you get to apply the meaning to it so that you can take away certain things from it. So, with that, my friends, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for witnessing me, and I hope I trust that because these tools have helped me, because these experiences have helped me, that something, one of these, will help you too. So I wish you the best of days. I wish you the most productive of days. Happy Monday, and we'll see you again next week. Aloha.